Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verses 1 to 8. There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under heaven. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to uproot. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to tear down and a time to build. A time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to scatter stones and a time to gather them, a time to embrace and a time to refrain, a time to search and a time to give up, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to mend, a time to be silent and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace. This is the word of the Lord. Be to God.
So what time is it for you at this moment in your lives? That phrase, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, strikes a chord at the moment. Just as we emerge, cautious hugs within small groups are possible but may not be appropriate. And that discerning what is the right thing to do as we start to meet people again. It strikes me again as I hear those wonderful contrasts, some of course harder than others, but it reminds me of gardening. And gardening has those times where we plant and we nurture, and those times when we prune and cut back and possibly dig up. Those times when we encourage wildlife in the garden, and those times when we battle with the slugs. And at the we're having quite a few battles with the slugs in the manse garden, and the beer traps have gone out and were much enjoyed last night. What time is it for you? Leading worship here at Trinity on a Sunday morning, I'm always conscious of time because I have to hurry back to Cawsend to lead worship there as well. And that sense of time can sometimes drive us. Do we have enough time? Fighting the time, spending the time properly, using our time well. But the reading assures us that there is a time for everything. God has given us the time to do what we need to do. And today we reflect especially on the time to give and the time to receive. And there are different seasons. A prayer that is used at many funerals begins with these words: God our Creator, you made all the rhythms and patterns of creation. And just as you give us birth, so you are there when death comes. God is with us in every part and stage of our lives, in every time and season. And we ask the Spirit to help us discern what is the time for us. Is it a time where we have to reach out and accept more help from others? To ask for that help if we are anxious or depressed or struggling with health issues, to go and see the doctor or to talk to a friend? Or is it the time to give that time to someone else, to spend time well with them and for them? to give more to the life of the church, to become more involved, to take on commitments. The rhythms and patterns of creation. May we discern the right time. And may we be thankful for all the time that God has given us and the assurance that in every season, God is close by. Well, the song we're going to hear is about all that we've received, the forgiveness that we've received from God, and then in response we freely give. God forgave my sin in Jesus' name. I've been born again in Jesus' name.